Greetings. I am Dr. Noni Davis, and how are you doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. This is Dr. Noni's Shule. Shule means school, and I am a private school owner of an African Centered School here in North Carolina. We have been open for 30 years. It was founded in 1996 by my mother, and I am my father. So I was a co-founder, and now I am the chief administrator. And last week, I shared the history of John Canoe, how John Canoe is a real diaspora celebration that African diaspora celebration that has roots grounded in the harvest traditions of Africa, period, not just West Africa, but Africa. And I discussed how when you study the Dendera, which is the first constellation calendar created by ancient people, ancient Egyptians, um, even in their calendar, they identified this time of the year as a harvest season, and they created all kinds of celebrations during that time to honor the Creator, give thanks for the abundance of food, give thanks to farmers, and just a major celebration. And this has continued, but what I wanted to also share is that John Canoe in the state, or particularly in North Carolina, where I am, we use hymnals and a lot of African. We call them Negro spirituals, but I just call them African American spirituals. And so today I wanted to talk about those because we sing those. We sing a combination of African traditional songs and African American traditional songs. For example, we begin with Funga Alafia, which is a welcoming song. It is Funga Alafia, Ashe Ashe, Funga Alafia, Ashe Ashe. And it basically means uh, welcome and peace to you, Alafia, peace to you. Let it be so, which is Ashe. Welcome and peace to you. Let it be so. And those are just the two verses that we sing, and we start with our little ones do that song, and then we also sing um, uh, Aye Ayo Cairo Silo Lien. It's Cairo Silo, which is a Mandinke song, and it is about it's all also sung during weddings. And this song is about it's Aye Ayo Cairo Silo Lien Nati Kayum Na Your Ne Fona Kofo Si Bum Bum Binyon Luna Sibola Dio La Katu Jayosia Jayata Alion Nene Alion Mutakur Katu Janjan Lien Bafa. And so there's several uh, lyrical differences depending on where you're from, but that one is the one that I learned. And that one is usually sung at weddings, and it's pretty much about how when two people get married, they're creating a new path together. And some people might like it, and some people may not like it, but they have to find a way to meet each other and take that journey together. And so that's one of the songs that we sing. And then this one, yeah, we also sang the harvest song from Kasa. I'm trying to think, is that all we did? I think we only did three African songs. And so, and Kasa, Alio, oh, I cannot remember that song. I just learned it myself. But it is from Guinea, which is where my ancestors are from, Guinea-Bissau, and I'm a Fulani descendant, and so this was one of their songs, and it may still be Malinke people, but I know my folks are from Guinea, and so what I want to do is maybe take a little deeper dive into African spirituals. A lot of us know that they were used for folks to escape. For freedom songs, they were songs that revive the spirit of Black people who living in this country under such an oppressive regime, that they had to find a way. And so, I wanted to first talk about one of the songs that we do is Wade in the Water. Oh, did I tell? Oh, we didn't tell. Okay, so Wade in the Water is one of the songs we did. We also sang Go Down. We opened after we did Fungi Lafayette, we did Go Down Moses. We sang Wade in the Water. We did This Little Light of Mine. And we sang Swing Down Chariot. No, Swing Low Sweet Chariot. And then we did Beyonce's version of Swing Down Chariot. Won't you let me ride? And so I want to just talk a little bit about, how powerful these songs are, and some of the things that I learned about these songs since I started doing Jonkanoo that I did not know. So while Africans were singing these songs, a lot of times, at first people did not know. Europeans did not know what was going on. They thought, oh, these black people just singing, and they have taken these verses from these hymns, and they have created these beautiful songs. I just love to hear them singing. And then after a while, they found out, wait, these people are using these songs to escape. And so at some point, it wasn't official. These songs weren't officially banned, but some of them were. You were not permitted to sing them on the plantation. They better not catch you singing the song. So, But anyway, so while Africans were considered dumb, unintelligent, and incapable of critical thinking skills, they were also heavily regulated by overseers and plantation owners who recognized the ability of these same Africans to create ways to undermine efforts to control them. And so it's interesting. It's very interesting. So African American spirituals are an inheritance from our African ancestors. The sense of harmony, the depth of emotion, this and the inspiration of messages. Messages deeply impacted those who hear those powerful songs and heard those powerful songs. So during our John Canoe performance, we always incorporate these traditional spirituals as part of our presentation. And let me move my camera a little bit. So I'm sorry, pardon me. So we have we've always also sung. I forgot. Members don't get weary. We've sung "Did My Lord Deliver Daniel?" And then like I said, we include the African. Oh, I forgot about Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kolebaje O. Ishe Oluwa Kolebaje O. And I believe that's a Yoruba song also, which means what God has created can never be destroyed. That is one of my favorite songs. Anyway, because I really feel invincible when I sing that song. So a while ago, I heard that some of these spirituals, like I said, were problematic for these white folks, these overseers and plantation owners, and they were banned from being sung in their presence and on their plantations. Now, initially, I didn't realize they were able to make the connection between these songs because I thought that white people were confused and they just thought we were too stupid to come up with ways of coded language and all that stuff. But they figured it out that they were signals for self-emancipation. Self-emancipation. I love that new word instead of runaways, because we shouldn't have to run away because we shouldn't have been enslaved in the first place. And so I'm like, yes, self-emancipating. I love that. So what is an African Negro spiritual? These spirituals, excuse me, are a special genre of Christian music that emerged during the European slave trade of Africans. And according to the People's Light, which gathered their information from the Library of Congress, maybe they've published through there. Most of these songs were composed verbally and orally during the late 1700s to the 1860s, following emancipation. Okay, so these are the largest, and this was new for me. These are the largest and most significant form of American folk songs. Wow. So I knew that we had a lot of influence with the blues and the jazz and the rock and roll, but I did not know that folk songs, our African American folk songs, were the largest and most significant form of American folk song. That is just unbelievable. And these spiritual, from when I checked spirituals.com, they said plantation owners practice the highest form of hypocrisy, encouraging their enslaved Africans to attend church. They really didn't want them to be Christians because they knew that it was a problem for them to find out that, certain passages. So they actually had a slave Bible. I think it only had 33 chapters in it. It was something crazy. But so, but they disallowed them to incorporate their culture ways of knowing. So you couldn't drum and you couldn't dance. And of course, we know they didn't allow us to read, except maybe the pastor. And so you couldn't find those freedom verses in the scriptures. And then they had already rewritten the Bible or changed it, so the Africans could not see the full script. They didn't want you to know everything. So therefore, Africans were forced to meet in secret. And so, I think I was talked about Hoodoo Month, and during Hoodoo Month, I made a diorama, I guess, I don't know, of Africans out in the woods singing with their guitars and their tambourines and dancing and having a good old time in the middle of the night. And so that's basically what we had to do. We had to go out to in the middle of the night to practice our spirituality the way we want it. And they called these camp meetings or bush meetings, and especially in the rural areas. So until the 1850s, most of these African spirituals were not even sung in churches. They were sung out in these campgrounds, and and they were, based on their relationship to uh, to the Creator. The songs were symbolize their desire for emancipation and need to unify and complete a difficult task. Um, so so we've also heard about those. What do they call them? The railroad track songs? No, they don't call them that, but they're work songs. They're work songs, and people would start a phrase and people would respond, and so it was a call and response. And so even those were songs that our ancestors used to work on, to do work, but also to to find unity amongst each other and move through these difficult circumstances. So the first African American group to publish and sing uh, African spirituals were the Fifth Jubilee Singers in, I think, Tennessee. Yeah. And they did it because they were trying to raise money for schools, because African Center schools, I mean, colleges have always struggled and universities have always struggled financially. So they traveled abroad and they sung the song in front of in England, and they traveled, I guess, all over Europe, and making these songs very famous. And I think the other group that helped spread the joy of African American spirituals was uh, Tuskegee Institute, which is now Tuskegee University. Following our emancipation, most African Americans did not want to continue singing these songs because, they're too black. The verbiage is, Southern and, you know, Creole of the English language. And they just were like, we're not doing that because we are emancipated. And so we've got to be more like white people. That's what we were doing. We were trying to ascribe, our success based on what they said that our success was, what it looked like, and how to achieve it. And so it took a while, but the emergence of the Kojic, the holiness churches, which are what uh, got, Oh, wait a minute. I can't remember. It's God of Christ, God in Christ. Oh, I can't remember how to, what Kojic means, but anyway. So now these churches, when they evolved, they said, "Hey, we're gonna do our African spirituality." So they did the hand clapping, they did this shouting, foot stomping. They sang the Jubilee songs, and they also had spiritual possession. And if you've watched any videos about African traditional spiritual systems, we believe in spirit possession. And so Kojic said, yeah, we're going back to that. And that is an African practice, in these Pentecostal kind of spaces. And so, and I have seen those videos of folks taking possession of somebody, of Oshun, and other spiritual entities, especially in Ifa. So Elaine Locke had something to say about this emergence, reassociation, this re-evaluation of African spirituals. He said that during the Black Renaissance, and I was like, yes, because when you see a lot of the artwork, um, of like Lois Mailou Jones, of oh, what was his name? Henry Tanner, and I can't remember the other guy who we introduced into. I think it was a couple weeks ago, but these folks were their art was a reflection of the African experience and the Pentecostal experience in the churches. A lot of the artwork was a reflection of that. And so in the 1920s, there was a refocus on the yearning for African pride in our ancestry and a revival of Negro spirituals in their own dialect. So now Black people say, well, you know, we have this music. So how can we do an upgrade, I guess? And so a lot of these, they took the lyrics. They said a lot of the people from the school teachers said, okay, people know these songs, so let's let them sing them, and then let's add some harmony, some technique to it. And they turn these into musical selections with harmonic phrases. You take you have the sopranos and the altos and the tenors and the whole bass and all of those people. And they turn this music into something to behold. Um, and it still moves you. And these became the groundwork or the for civil rights movement. A lot of the songs that we sang became declarations: "We shall overcome," and "This little light of mine" during the Civil War. And that's what we also sang, "This little light of mine." And so the key characteristics of African American spirituals are: one, emotional release under the most horrific oppression in a barbaric regime. Emotional release. We had to have an emotional release, and these songs did that for us. Coded messages, symbolism pulled from Bible verses about self emancipation via the Underground Railroad. You also had this musical fusion with West African musical styles and elements. You had the rhythm, as a constant rhythm with the hand clapping and the, da, 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 down, up, down, up beat. And then with okay, wait, let's see. Oh, um, and then you had the call and response, which I was talking about before. And then you also had these European hymns that were transformed by African groups, choirs, and uh, pianists and arrangers that have made the music beautiful. And then you had an affirmation that the Creator loves and protects and desires freedom for all people, and we were all made in God's image, and nobody is better than us, and nobody is below us, and we all okay. And then it greatly influenced American music genres. I mean, our music these Negro spirituals influence gospel, jazz, blues, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, and protests for civil rights and freedom. Imagine that. We influence every original music style and all that just to get our freedom. I mean, it was all birthed out of a desire to be free. And so I didn't want to necessarily play some, but one of my favorite ones is, I don't know if I can find each Aola while on here, but I did tell you that one, but I did find some of the lyrics. And so, like, for example, wade in the water, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's going to trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in red? God's going to trouble the waters. Must be the children that Moses led. God's going to trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in white? God's going to trouble the waters. Must be the people getting ready to fight. God's going to trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in blue? God's going to trouble the waters. Must be the people gonna see this through. God's gonna trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in green? God's gonna trouble the waters. Must be the finest movers I ever seen. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. I tell you, I just those lyrics are something else. You don't sleep on black people, because, and then even when didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? And why not every man? He delivered Daniel from the lion's den, Jonah from the belly of the whale, and the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace. Why not every man? The moon runs down in purple stream, the sun refused to shine, and every star will disappear. King Jesus will be mine. Yeah, black people, we knew these songs were transformative. The follow the drinking gourd was what they said. Follow the drinking gourd, still away, and swing low, sweet chariot were all songs that were about running away to freedom. And we know the drinking gourd is the star system, is the Big Dipper in the sky, and it points to the North Pole. If you follow one star and just continue to follow that star, you'll end up north. So follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. And so to change it from Big Dipper to black people too much. We're amazing. When the sun comes back and the first quail calls, for the old man is awaited for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. The riverbank would make a very good road. The dead trees show you the way. Left foot, peg foot, traveling on, follow the drinking gourd. And so this was a story about I think he was a Quaker. He was a midget, and he had one foot and a peg foot. So he would be down there at the river. He would go south, and there was a white guy. He would go down south, and he would do work for plantations, and then he would start singing that song. And when people memorized that song, he would disappear and say, I'll see you when it's winter. And so that's what they did. So that was what the drinking gourd was. And so that one is good. Still away to Jesus, still away, still away, still away to Jesus, still away home. I ain't got long to stay here. The Lord calls me, he calls me by the thunder. The trumpet sounds within my soul. I ain't got long to stay here. Green trees are bending, poor sinners stand a trembling. The trumpet sound within my soul. I ain't got long to be here. So, that was just letting people know, hey, I'm about to be up out of this piece. And then go down Moses. No, did I do wade in the water? Wade in the water. I didn't do that one. Okay, wade in the water. I think I did. Okay, I did read that one. Okay, so now the one I want to read now is Go Down Moses. Go Down Moses was very interesting. Go down. Okay, when Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. I had my four. The youngest was four. The oldest was seven. Uh, um, when Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand. Let my people go. And then go down Moses way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. No more shall they in bondage toil. Let my people go. Let them come out with Egypt's spoil. Let my people go. And then the one that I liked, your foe shall not before you stand. Let my people go. And you possess there's Canaan's land. Let my people go. I love that one. I'm like, okay, y'all, we gonna own all of this in a minute. We need to be the ones running it because we ain't gonna tear it up like other people do. And then we did swing. Let's see. We did this swing down chariot, and so why don't you swing down chariot, stop and let me ride? Oh, swing down chariot, stop and let me ride. Rock me, Lord, calm and easy. I got a home on the other side. Uh, let's see. Uh, why don't you? Oh, let's see. I don't see the very force that we did. We did six white horses prancing. No, six white horses standing side by side. Oh, six white horses prancing side by side. Oh, rock me, Lord, calm and easy. I got a home on the other side. So I like that one a lot too. And hey, all of these are about getting up out of here. This one says Ezekiel went down in the middle of a field. He saw an angels working on a chariot wheel. He wasn't too particular about the chariot wheel. Just wanted to see how a chariot feels. I'm not sure if that's to how that's supposed to be sung, so I'm not going to do any more of that. Let's see. The other one was This Little Light of Mine, and all of us know that one. And they said this one was sung along a lot also at uh, freedom marches. I remember hearing Sweet Honey in the Rock sing quite a few of these songs. We Shall Overcome, and oh, let's see. I'm going. If I go heaven, gonna fall all over God's heaven, heaven, heaven. Everybody talk about heaven, ain't going to heaven. Heaven. I'm going to walk all over God's heaven. So I like that one too. But This Little Light of Mine, I'm going to let it shine. It's a really sweet one because it's like you're not going to let anybody destroy you. You have a light within you. And like again said, we let the little ones sing that one. Hide it under a bushel. No, you're not going to let nobody blow it out. No, you're going to stand up for yourself and keep moving. And just imagine African people were making sure their children were singing these songs. And then the last one I wanted to sing was, of course, we did Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, uh, coming forth to carry me home. And so when you understand how our ancestors had to first learn English, you had a diverse group of people coming with all of these different languages, so they could not communicate with each other. So they had to create a Creole language to communicate, understand the language. They were being exposed to these same gospels, and they turned that thing into a weapon to fight for our freedom. Black people, black people, young people are amazing. And then what we did became the largest archive of American music, the largest and the most influential. on American music. So, black is beautiful. I just love being black. I want to be brilliant. I want to be benevolent and beautiful. Black. I shall.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
I'm a St. Sya student. Of course I walk into the sound of drums.
I'm a St. Sya student. Of course I know my mom.
I'm a St. Sya student. Of course I can play the drum.
I'm a St. Sya student. Of course I can work with my hands.
I'm a St. Sya student.